Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're all well. Lovely day, Saturday, June the something, whatever it is, 20th, something like that. I don't know. Let me just wipe this screen. There we go, sorted. I think that's a bit better. Yeah, Saturday afternoon. Got to have a beer, and you've got to have a beer. So we're back with another one, and we're taking a look at one of the beers that I picked up yesterday from Tesco's. Part of a 4 for 3. This was the free one. Should have been £3, and it's from Vocation Brewery, and this is their special edition Death by Cherries Cherry Sour. Lovely artwork. It definitely catches your eye, that does. 4.5% in a 440ml can. Like I said, should have been £3, but come in as the free one. So we're going to whack it in this little Vocation glass that I have. It's nice and chilled, been in the fridge overnight, which I think is set at 4 or 5 degrees, one of them. The big main fridge, that is. So let's see what we get. What's it saying? Rich, sweet and tart. Let me just look. Warning, not for the faint-hearted. Only the brave can handle the intense mix of sweet and sour cherries. Its bold flavours leave even the biggest adrenaline junkie wanting more. Oh, didn't they come out with some stuff? I've got a feeling this is going to taste like sweet. A cherry sweet, but we shall see. I think JB's reviewed it. I'm not sure if he was a fan or not. I've had a couple of other comments about it, but I've not looked properly yet at them. But beer in a glass, look at that proper deep red cherry raspberry look about it, if you like. A finger of compact, really bright pink head, it's got to be said. There's still a little bit left in the can. Now, Vocation, normally pretty decent stuff, but they have turned into one of them supermarket breweries that you get good stuff, but then you get that sort of novelty stuff. Hopefully this is going to be all right. So let's give it a swirl, see what we get on the nose. If it's not cherry, there is something wrong. Yeah, cherries. Something smells a little bit. It's cherry, but it just smells a little bit sort of different. Maybe a little bit artificial, if you like. A little. It sort of smells like a Belgian cherry drink, but has a little edge to it that just smells different. But it's all cherry. That's about it. There's maybe a little bit of tartness on the nose. That could be that little funny smell in there. But other than that, cherry. So let's get a bit more out the can, into the glass, and take a look at Vocation's Death by Cherries Cherry Sour, 4.5% from Tesco's, £3. Cheers. Yeah. Interesting. For a start, I mean, for me, I'm going to say straight away, you look at most sours. Sours, you don't really tend to, a proper full-on sour, you don't get that head. It tends to fizz and go, generally. So this has got quite a creamy sort of head on it. Body feels quite sort of weighty to a certain extent. I think that's the creamy head on top. Behind that, the liquid underneath. Still sort of has a bit of weight to it. You do get a sprightly fizz. Certainly not as sort of sprightly as you'd expect from maybe a full-on sort of sour. Sort of smooth to drink first, and that sort of, I'm going to say that sprightly fizz comes in afterwards. Taste wise, for me, I'm definitely getting a bready background note to this. That's after everything else, but we'll give you all the other stuff. So yeah, cherry, but I think the cherry is sort of mild in the flavour. It is big there, don't get me wrong, but there's something sort of mild about it. You definitely get the tartness in there. It's definitely got that sour sort of make your face crunch up sort of sourness to it. But they definitely play it safe. And then behind that, that's where I'm getting this maltiness come in. And I'm going to have some more because I'm trying to suss out what sort of malty note this is in there. It's sort of there and then sort of disappears quite quick. So while I'm trying to think, it's gone. Pardon me. For me, that leaves you with like a digestive biscuit maltiness on the background. 4.5%. It's nowhere, certainly with the style of beer and the fact that it's a very sort of fruity sort of beer, if you like. 4.5%, you're never really sort of going to pick it up, and you pick it up a little bit less with the nature of the beer. I mean, it goes down easy. It is lacking a bit more oomph in the cherry department, certainly in the taste. You have something like a cherry beer from Belgium, and you really do sort of pick that up. This feels like it's lacking a little bit in that sort of cherry note. Now maybe that's playing it safe. Maybe the tartness, even though the tartness and sourness is there, it feels like it's playing it a little bit safe. I do like that sort of digestive biscuit malt thing going on in the background behind it. But it feels like a very sort of safe beer. Sour is an acquired taste. It's not going to be to everyone's cup of tea. And I think they've brewed this with safety on their mind to try and sell. I think that maltiness maybe just sort of on the back end keeps it in check, so you maybe don't have so much of that sourness or tartness in there. Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at sours have certainly sort of changed. If we're looking at full-on sour, this doesn't live up to them for me. If you're sort of looking at a pudding beer that isn't going to be too offensive, if you like, I think people are going to like this. I mean, I'm certainly getting it down me. It's very easy to drink, it's got to be said. But for me, not sour or tart enough. The cherry flavour isn't big enough or bold enough. And surprisingly, I'm going to say, I think the body is a little bit weighty for it, I think. A little bit weighty for it. And I also think it could do with a bit more fizz. Now, it's very odd. It's very odd because it's not the sort of thing you would say about a beer. You know, normally low carbonation, decent body is normally the way. But I think for the sour style, you need it to be more tart, more fizzy, and maybe a little bit lighter. But it's not the worst beer I've drunk. It's certainly not vile. It's certainly not one that I'm struggling to drink. It's going down easy enough. I think if you're getting into the sour style, this is maybe a nice little starter for you. But rest assured, I think if you get into the style, you're going to want to be. I think even if you're getting into the style, you're going to go, this is sort of not too sour, it's not too thingy, and I think it will tempt you to maybe to try some more sours. Overall, a safe and steady sour for me. Not the greatest, but by no means the worst beer ever. Drinkable enough. So there you go. There's my thoughts. Vocation's Death by Cherries. Cherry sour. It's all right. It's all right. And that's about it. If you've had it before, let me know what you think. Feel free to comment. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Batter. We'll see you again soon on another one. Cheers.